Hey, this is Deborah Wiggs. I'm here at Makeup Designery Burbank doing the Mud Talks with my good friend, Michelle Garbin. We're doing these in association with Makeup Artist Magazine. I'm so excited. We've waited how many years to do this?
About 6.
6 years to do this, because you're always working on something.
I'm always working.
All right, so you kindly cut a new reel for us to see.
Yes, brand new. You guys are the first to see it.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so are we going to just do it with the lights, or are we going to kill the house lights? Okay, we're going to hit play.
She's a good cop. People don't seem to remember that. She caught Rachel in the hallway and started yelling some version of "Leave my husband alone."
It's really great that you made time for us. I'm so happy to be here. Fritz here. And you must be the bride.
I am.
Shall we grab a seat and get started?
We're going to do a shot up the aisle. One shot up the aisle.
Thanks, all my daughters pumping together. You'll see for the crowds.
That's the tenant.
Congratulations.
Screw all the attention. You're a ball player. You do this for you do this for your team, or you don't do it at all.
Just you and me, Kate.
Well, I think I better go check on my room. Make sure it hasn't been turned into some tattoo.
Fried and refried.
They're illegals. Part of our assembly crew.
We found them before the FD went through. Get rid of the bodies. Oh, yeah.
Number 5. Grab your imagination.
Are any makeup room secrets?
Lots of them. 6 in the morning. You'll hear them all.
Is that what time you get in?
Oh yeah, we get here early, right?
I don't get here because I don't have to go to hair.
You're watching Escape the Ordinary.
Judges love a good comeback story.
Hi, I'm Officer Steve Cox. You're at
Driving up and down the same old strip. I got
Wow, how cool is that? So we're going to come together now. Okay, before we begin, you've really done a real life princess's makeup.
I have.
Can
I've
you-
actually done a couple people. Also, Elvis Presley's ex-wife.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was it? She would just come through on Deal or No Deal. She would just come through, Meghan,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
it would just be in rotation.
Meghan Markle, yep. And there was a bunch of us on Deal or No Deal, and she would come through. Who knew that she was going to be a princess one day? So
Isn't
was
that
pretty
cool? That's pretty. What was? How did your career begin?
I actually went to cosmetology school while I was still in high school. And after high school, I was able to work on salons as an esthetician. I also worked in department stores selling cosmetics. And then I went to college, UC Santa Barbara, to be a nurse, except I couldn't get one of my nursing courses, so I took a theatrical makeup course, and the rest was kind of history.
Isn't that an amazing life that you had these different careers? How much did going to nursing school help you with makeup?
It helped me be a clinical esthetician. At one time, I was doing sitcoms. Sitcoms only shoot 6 months out of the whole month. And so that's not a lot of time you're working if it's just 6 days out of the month. So I was working at Kaiser Permanente. I was in charge of all of Southern California as a clinical esthetician for plastic surgery and dermatology. And at the time, I created my own skincare. I had my own brand, Vivid MD Skincare.
Talk about, you also, where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Northern California.
What part?
I was born in Alameda, but I went to high school in Pleasanton, which is like the East Bay area.
And was it a long journey from getting, what was it about makeup that spoke to you? Why did you want to be a makeup artist?
I think the series of events in my life just kept on happening, and I realized like it was, I wanted to be an artist. I wasn't good at sports, but I love watching sports, and so I'm a self-taught artist, and I really wanted to be an artist, and I chose my medium as makeup.
You worked for Playboy for 10 years.
I did.
What did you learn in that 10 years working for Playboy?
Hugh Hefner, who just passed away, and actually a whole year ago, he was very loyal, and I liked that. It was one of my first jobs was Playboy, and I learned how to do eyelashes really fast. There's a lot of fake eyelashes with the Playboy bunnies, a lot of false eyelashes, and then also a lot of body makeup. So I got really good at body makeup really fast.
Who were your mentors? Who were the people were the people in your life that helped and shaped your career?
I feel like I still have mentors. One of my first jobs was with Bill Corso, Douglas No, Kim Green has been a big influence on my life, Sarah Rabano, Koji Omura, who I've just recently working with. I had Robin Matthews. I've had a lot of Academy Award winners that have taken me underneath their belt, and still I'm learning new tricks from them.
You told me a story. You worked with the son of Marilyn Monroe's makeup artist.
Yes, Ron Snyder. And
Ron
that was on Three Kings, and there was a clip in the reel about Three Kings. Alan Napone was the department head for Three Kings. And that was my first big movie. I went from a personal Lynn Redgrave to this huge movie with 300 extras a day. It was, and it was 8 months in the desert.
Where were you was that shot?
That was mostly in Casa Grande. It was in Arizona and a little bit in El Centro, California.
Can you tell, he told you how to use 16 different reds to make
it was 15 different reds to make your perfect red lipstick.
Wow. And what was that? What was the trick
It's
to it?
It's about the dimension. And like there's something in the reel of the Sons of Anarchy. I'm not sure if anyone had seen Sons of Anarchy. When they go to cut Titus, that actor, his name's Titus, he did not want any prosthetics, he didn't want any third degree, he didn't want anything three-dimensional on him, and I had to do everything with just blood itself. So I think a lot of times is we're creating three-dimensional so that it can actually read, so it can read right on camera, so it can be read right on the big screen.
Can I ask you?
This is my first drag queen. And then I have other drag queens in here, and you'll see I got a lot better.
Did it, when he said, I'm not going to wear prosthetics, what did you think at that moment?
I tried to talk him into it, and he's like, no third degree, no prosthetics, no nothing. And so there's a picture on the reel of me in my pajamas at 3 a.m. in the morning having an anxiety attack, and I'm practicing on myself. And so I just knew that if I used blood gel and if I used liquid gel, and there's so many different versions of blood. There's like really watery, like the Makeup Forever, to Three Kings, which is my blood, which is a little thicker. And I knew if I made a concoction of them that I could get the 3D effect on the face.
Wow. How often have you run into where an actor says, oh, I won't do that? Has that happened a lot?
Rarely. It doesn't happen on me, like, knock on wood, that it doesn't. Usually I get along really well with the actors, actresses, and we have a fun time, and I want to produce my best work, and they want to produce their best work.
What would you say has been, you've worked with so many people, you've worked on so many shows.
There it is.
It
That's me practicing at 3 a.m. in the morning.
That looks incredible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Did it take a long time to figure that out?
I don't think it did. I thought it would take more time than what I thought. And sometimes it does. Sometimes I think it's going to be like, oh, I'm just going to practice this. It's going to take me 5 or 10 minutes. And then I'm there 3 hours later. And then there's other times I'm like, oh, this is going to take me all day to figure out. I don't have the time. And then I'll figure it out in 5 minutes. It's like until you start playing, you really don't know how long it's going to take. Like the body makeup takes 6 hours to do.
Do you love that?
I actually do. I wish I got called to do that more. Usually I'm doing it for fun.
Where did you learn that skill?
Again, everything is self-taught. Just start practicing when I'm not working.
Wow. And you feel like, what was the film that got you in the union? What was the film that led to you?
Oh my gosh, there were so many shows. There was actually a TV show called High Tide with Rick Springfield that I got most of my union hours and a bunch of commercials. I got like a 30-day commercial. It was great.
What?
Yeah, and it was before commercials were union. And so and then with commercials, you can be union or non-union to work on most of them. So between that and the TV show, Stu Siegel shows, I worked on a couple of those in San Diego. I would drive from LA to San Diego. I just wanted to do anything I could to get my hours to get into the guild.
How many unions have you been a member of?
I've been 3. So when I first moved here after I graduated from UC Santa Barbara, I had like 1 or 2 clients. I would work 1 or 2 days a month. It definitely didn't pay the rent. I moved to Arizona, and it was a right-to-work state, and because I was originally from here, and I actually did print while I was in college in San Francisco, they kind of thought of a big fish because I was from California. So I started getting all the work there, and I met everyone. That's how I got Three Kings, was through that union. And I met everyone while I was there that came from LA, and then I came back here. And then I was part of the live action union because I used to work at Universal Studios. I used to do all the characters that walked around.
Was that fun?
Oh my God, it was so much fun. And I got a lot of practice with ball caps because at the time they had Waterworld, and so I would have to put a ball cap on the Deacon every week. So that was fun.
So you get into the union so Three Kings is your first big movie. What was it like stepping into that world, learning, like seeing movies of that size?
I didn't know anything, really. And from going from one personal, traveling with Lynn Redgrave on a one-woman show and having a it was really overwhelming.
What was the play you did with Lynn Redgrave?
It was called Shakespeare for My Father.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty famous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How was it to work? Because she's a legend.
She is a legend. I didn't know who she was. I didn't do my research. And now it's so much easier to do research. So before I go on to any show, if I'm on staff, on Major Crimes, if we knew an actor would come in the next day on the call sheet, I now look on IMDb and I make sure that I see a picture of them and know who's going to sit down before they sit down in my chair.
And you said that you felt that, like, one of your favourite things is research, right? You love to research. And
I love researching, and I love doing period pieces. Like, that's kind of my jam, is, like, doing period.
Because you loved I'm Dying Up Here. That was one of your favorites, because it was a 70s show.
It was 70s. It was pre-disco. It just got canceled 2 days ago. I was really hoping it would last a little longer so I could start doing the disco glitter makeup.
Why... how do often I've heard said that it's harder almost to do recent history than like the 30s or the 20s because we have so many references. How precise did you have to be in that research?
Well, Robin Matthews was the department head on I'm Dying Up Here, and she's very thorough with her. She's an Academy Award winner. She's very thorough with her research. And we, doing the early 70s, it was mostly mascara, colorful eyeshadow, and a lot of lip gloss, like Bonnie Bell lip gloss.
Where was that shot?
It was shot here in Culver City was our studios.
You've shot a lot in LA.
I have shot. I have been very fortunate that I've been able to stay home and shoot.
What was the film you met your husband on?
Ned's, and that was actually, my husband's a cameraman, and it was called Ned's School Survival Guide, right? Ned's School Survival Guide.
So you guys all know that? Yeah. And who were you working for on that show?
I was working for Jen Sietta, and I remember they were like, the camera guy wants to go out with you, and I was like, I don't want to go out with him. So they locked me out of the makeup and hair room, and my actors were coming in for touch-ups, and I'm like, I need to go back to work. And they're like, well, until you say yes. And I was like, fine, I'll say yes to him. And so the rest was history.
And how many years have you been married?
11, 12.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And you guys have been very lucky to be around each other a lot. You haven't been separated a super large amount.
Usually he works in LA, and just recently he did do a movie for a couple months. I was working crazy hours on I'm Dying Up Here. It's something called a forced call. I've been in 706 for 20 years. It's the first time I've ever had forced calls, sometimes up to 3 times a week. I would sleep 4 hours a night, so I didn't really get to sleep that much doing that show that we just finished this year.
How hard is it to work like that?
It's really hard. You sometimes fall asleep on the reel. The hours that sometimes we do, it's a lot more than 12 or 14, 16. I've done 2 26-hour days. One was on a film in North Carolina. It's really hard when you're up for it that long.
Yeah, it's insane. You don't even know who you are anymore, really.
You don't. I don't know what I'm saying. I get giddy. People get upset. People get emotional. And I'm really glad for the new ratifications and the new guilds that we will have a longer turnaround time. Because with makeup artists and costumes, we get the least turnaround time than anyone else. Camera gets more, actors get more, stunts get more, which stunts should. Stunts, they were actually going to lower their turnaround time. I don't want a stunt person to have less than 12 hours. Like, that's ridiculous. By the time you drive somewhere, by the time you get to set, by the time you get ready in the morning, I mean, it's really important that we all do get our sleep. We work really long hours. We don't work an average 6 to 8 hours like some jobs. We work 40 to 60 to 80, sometimes 90. I've had 100 hours on my paycheck before for
That's
1 week.
insane.
I mean, it's a lot of hours we work.
And do you find, I mean, you've had relationships with these incredible department heads. So
Yes.
Robin Matthews,
Yeah,
Tracy Anderson.
I've keyed for some of the best people. I'm very fortunate.
What makes someone super good at their job at that level
As a key or a department head?
as a key?
As a key, I think you definitely have to have, I always have my department heads back. It's really important. Also, I'm really good with the key. I kind of get thrown in being the assistant to the department head and the designer, but then I'm also pushing paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork, especially on the guild. Every show has about 50 pages you have to sign before you start working. So I'm really good with helping people out. I can think with both sides of my brain at the same time. I can
Really?
also organize, and people like me to set up a trailer. I can be really organized when I want to be.
Do you love that? Do you love that moment of getting it all figured out?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I'm good at it. And I see sometimes artists just think with one side of their brain, and they're so incredibly gifted. But then when it comes to like paperwork or like filling out their time cards, they can't even figure out what time it is, and we work in military time. So it's easy for me to figure out both most of the time. Unless I'm like sleep deprived on 4 hours of sleep, then sometimes even my numbers are off.
What would you say you would be known for? I'm like looking at, you've really got a vast body, like you do body painting, you do beauty, your prosthetic work is beautiful.
Nobody ever hires me for a show with 2 actors anymore. I mean, it's like, I get the massive shows. I get the shows that we have to do beauty and special effects. I don't get asked to do the shows that have a special effects trailer. I don't ever I get asked to be on the crew with the cast of 25. So I'm good with a big group of people. And also, like our last show, I'm Dying Up Here, we had sometimes 3 to 4 makeup trailers a day.
Oh my
so as a key, I was running around to all the trailers, making sure everyone had their supplies, their paperwork, the water, their food, that everyone was taking their NDBs on time, their meal penalties, just making sure that everything was running smoothly.
That's incredible. That's an incredible amount. I mean, and do you find now there isn't really a super big difference between the quality of a film and the quality of a TV show?
I feel like we're in the golden era of TV. TV is awesome. Like in 1 week, we take and we make like a miniature film out of it. I mean, TV is amazing right now. There's so many awesome shows on. And it's hard to do TV because you have very limited time. Like I did on my reel was Pacific Rim Uprising. We had one day we shot 1/8 of a page. Can you imagine 1/8 of a page? That's nothing. On TV, you'll shoot 11 to 12 pages a day. And you're going fast and fast. You have very little time to do it. And even if your makeup's not perfect, like some of my makeup isn't perfect on the slideshow. And that's what I wanted to show you today.
I think it's pretty perfect.
Well, I see flaws like in his bald cap. I see flaws in the hand-laid beard. Like I see flaws. And I know that if I had a little more time, but with TV, you got to be as fast as you can, as good as you can. Because they're still going to start shooting it.
Would you say you're a perfectionist?
Absolutely, and everybody will tell you that works with me.
But that's why you get hired, right?
I think that is. They say I'm a little OCD on certain things, yeah.
But I think you have to have that. You have to try your best, don't you? I mean,
Absolutely. You want to try your best, and this is not a career for somebody that doesn't like. I'm a true makeup junkie. I truly love makeup. Everything about it.
I don't think there's never been...
you have to work the hours you work.
Yeah, and if you're always at IMAX, you're always at everything to do with makeup.
I love it.
Do you have a dream show you'd like to do? Is there something
I would love to go work on Glow. So I did a power, when you watch all the shows at once. What is it? We binged through Glow, and I instantly grabbed my makeup kit. I've never done this, and I started putting glitter all over my face. It inspired me so much. I would love for them just to like do the background on Glow one day, hiding in the back and just seeing what they're doing. But I love watching that show.
Yeah, it's great. Let's open up for some questions. I'll jump. I have one for you.
Okay.
We worked on Sons. How was it? You're very feminine. You're very gentle. You're very sweet. How was it to work with all those boys?
The boys were amazing. We ran into Ron Perlman the other day when my husband and I were out to eat. The guys are awesome. Kim Coates, I still talk to. Theo Rossi is mostly based out of New York, and he's the one that we went through a lot of hairdressers in all the years that we were there. And he would give up by the end of the season, and he'd be like, Michelle, give me my mohawk and put my tattoos on. So not only did I have to give him his mohawk, but I had to put the tattoos on and then do his full body. And then if I had to beat him up, sometimes he was in the chair for 2 hours every day. So when he comes here for his red carpets, I work with him a lot. Dre De Matteo, she just called me and texted me last week, and she's like, if I get a show in Los Angeles, I want you to be my personal makeup artist. And I still talk to a lot of them. The cast was truly amazing. Courtney Love, even got to work with her afterwards.
With the tattoos were super precise.
There's Dre and Theo.
I mean, the tattoos were super precise, right?
Oh, yeah, and Theo Rossi is a perfectionist. If I got him wrong, he'd make me redo them.
Really?
Yeah, so us in the trailer, nobody would talk to us when he was in my trailer because they both know, two OCD, two perfectionists together. And if they were a little off and I couldn't even tell they were off, he would make me redo the tattoos.
And you loved doing Major Crimes.
I love doing Major Crimes. That was by far my most favorite thing I've ever worked on, and that just got canceled. I had the amazing department head, Liz Brazinio, but I really got to hone my skills. I got to do beauty, character, dead bodies, full body prosthetics. You'll see my Y incisions up here, lots of blood. I got to cover a lot of tattoos, which is really important today, especially on all the shows. They want you to cover the tattoos, and then also put a lot of tattoos on.
When you become more and more a thing, more and more actors have tattoos, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Actors themselves that are working actors, they'll usually get a license from their tattoo artist so that they could actually show it. It depends on what their role is, that will either cover it or will change it with a tattoo pen to make it look different. If it's a naked girl, a lot of times we can draw with a tattoo pen or an alcohol palette and put a bathing suit on them, just so that it's more appropriate if it's a G-rated show or a PG-rated show.
Oh, you just struck on something really interesting these guys might know about. Can you explain what getting a license from a tattoo artist means?
Yes, I was just on a Nike commercial last week, and this actor, I saw him, he was actually one of the background, he had certain tattoos and they were words. They actually went with the Nike commercial. And I was like, we have to stop you, we have to cover these. And he's like, oh, I have my license from the tattoo artist, it's okay to show this artwork.
Do you understand that, guys?
It's really important with the studios, and the bigger the budget, the more important it is that they either have a license or they know that they have to have the time to cover it.
And now you're hoping, you've been doing tons of commercials this year.
Oh my gosh, I've had so much fun. Yeah, I do all the Best Buy. Have you seen the Best Buy? It's like black and white with the blue shirts. That's my work.
But you really want to, this is where you want to go next, is into features again.
I do. I really miss features, and I'm ready to travel again and go back full time.
Is it hard to transition between the two?
I do. I feel like I've lost a lot of my connections because I've been absent for so long. I've been doing TV for 12 years now, and it's been an amazing run. But yeah, I'm trying to get my contacts back or get new contacts to go back into the feature film world.
Are you driven by intuition more than any other thing, or are you pretty analytical?
I used to try, what's that saying about the square box? Put a round hole or a square peg in a round box, or...
Yeah.
I used to try that, and I used to force things, and it never worked for me. And now I just let things come to me, and it actually works better in the long run.
Perfect. I've got time for one question.
Yeah, so it sounds like you have so much going on and so much to do and so many different kinds of projects. How do you stay organized when you have so much on your plate, like so much ahead of you?
I think that's why I'm a good key. I also have sections in the house that, like, I have a master bedroom, a second master bedroom of all makeup. I've taken the walk-in closet, which is like half the size of this room, and I've taken all the pulls out of it, and it's shelving everywhere of all my makeup, and that's where I store everything. I had 3 different jobs going on last week with the Nike commercial, the Best Buy commercial. I was day checking on the show The Rookie, and I was also working on Better Things. Better Things needed me to do a beard, so I had my whole beard kit, and I actually have sections in the house like towards each project, and I think you have to be organized, and that's one reason why the department heads want me to key for them, because I can do crazy things like that, and like just it's kind, and I put like, I'm like, don't touch, like this is for Better Things, this is for The Rookie, this is for Best Buy, and then sometimes you start getting so much makeup. When I was doing sitcoms, I did several sitcoms at the same time. The department heads at the time made me get separate kits. I couldn't take the kits back and forth to each show since I was on staff, and so I had to have full kits for each sitcom.
As we wrap up, talk about your skincare line, and and we have a gift for you guys.
Yes.
So talk
You're
about.
all getting shaving cream and cleanser today, full size.
Thank you. So talk about how it came about.
So when I was working at Kaiser Permanente, I needed products to help my clients, whether they had acne, whether they had various skin conditions, hyperpigmentation, and that's when I created my own brand, Vivid MD Skincare.
What was so is it, and talk about, you said someone used it the other day and took a picture of it.
So
and
I was working for Kim Green the other day on Rim of the World, the movie, and there was a supermodel that came in, Amanda Cerny, and she grabbed the products, and I didn't know she had 23 million Instagrammers. And I created my line 14 years ago. I've had other actors and actresses tweet before. She tweeted it, and then our sales went berserk. And I'm like, one little supermodel, like, so that was pretty cool.
Can we grab it and we'll start giving it out? I mean, we're gonna wrap up, but will you spend a few minutes talking to these guys afterwards?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I just want come forward and get your stuff. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoy. enjoy it.